You're listening to WERA-LP, Arlington, Virginia, 96.7 FM, streaming and on demand at WERA.FM. Coming to you from the studios at Arlington Independent Media, I'm your host, Lynn Borton, and this is Choose to be Curious. Welcome. This is a show all about curiosity. We talk about research and theory, but mostly it's conversations about how curiosity shows up in work and life. This week, we have a special opportunity to talk with 4 people I suspect are in curiosity mode 24/7. Since the fall, I've had the pleasure of being connected with a wonderful curiosity enterprise that actually has almost nothing to do with this show. One day, late last spring, I got a text message from a friend who works at NOVA with a tantalizing note. "I think you'd really enjoy this," she wrote. This was information about an application to be a social host, a sort of citizen ambassador, to hang out with a visiting student who would be coming to the U.S. in the fall. The students don't live with the hosts, but visit with us, joining family and holiday events, getting a taste of real life in the DMV, in whatever form that takes for the host. I thought, well, that's cool, and promptly submitted my application. A few weeks later, my husband and I got an email introducing us to Zandale from South Africa. Since then, Zandale has joined us for dinner in, for Vietnamese food out, for a storytelling event, to see the holiday lights at Nats Park, for our Thanksgiving and Christmas and a magic lantern show. She's become like part of the family. The Community College Initiative Program, CCI, sponsored by the U.S. Department of State, provides opportunities for individuals from other countries to develop leadership capabilities, professional skills, and English language proficiency while studying at a community college in the U.S. A program of the Department of State with funding from the U.S. government, CCI is administered by Northern Virginia Community College in cooperation with the Community College Consortium. CCI provides scholarships for participants to spend up to 1 academic year at a U.S. community college, about 8 campuses around the country. And participants build technical skills and they earn certificates in various fields of study. A big part of the program is visiting historic and community sites. We had a fun day with the students visiting us here at Arlington Independent Media to see how community-based independent media is made. And I enjoyed a fabulous potluck luncheon and delicious dessert cook-off just before Christmas with the students. You got a little taste of that at the top of the show with Roger's poem. And, you know me, I wasn't going to pass up the chance to have a few of these lovely people join me for a curiosity conversation. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Oscar Barrera and I'm from Colombia. And the area of study that I'm studying here in US is entrepreneurship. And one thing that I was curious before I came here was asking myself if my English will be enough, and also interact with real English speakers, and even to try the famous cheesecake.
Mercy.
Hello everybody. My name is Marcy Mildred Adaya. I am from Kenya. I am majoring on business and minoring on leadership development at Northern Virginia Community College Annandale campus. And one thing I was so curious about before coming to the US is experiencing the diverse culture in the United States.
Lovely, lovely.
Hi, my name is Aninda Nurul Hadija. I am from Indonesia, and here I'm studying early childhood education in Nova Alexandria campus. One thing I was curious about before coming to US is the cold weather, the winter. I mean, how cold it's gonna be, how many layers I will wear. Yeah, and yeah.
And you had some hint on that, haven't you? All right.
All right.
And Jeff?
Yeah, well, one thing I was curious about seeing here in the United States was the underground. You know, back in my country, there is no underground, and I was so fascinated by all these things. My name is Willy with Jefferson KOUAKOU. I'm from Côte d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast in English, and here at Nova, my field of study is social media marketing.
Great, great. Well, welcome to all of you. It's really fun to have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I have to say, I'm very impressed with the courage and curiosity that I think it takes to come and live for a year in a different country, a different culture, maybe with different language. And it seems to me that CCI is a program that would attract very curious people. So do you think of yourselves as curious?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so tell me why.
Okay. I feel myself as curious because everything that I see, I just want to know deeper. Everything that I see, I hear, I want to know more, to understand why, to look at the inside and all these stuff. So I think I'm very curious about things.
And you wanted to know about the metro or the underground.
Yes.
And so how is the metro?
Well, the first time that I saw the metro, I was so fascinated, and it was like, wow, that's so great. How can this be underground and up? There are some people working, so I was just not understanding it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And when you think about it going under the river,
Yeah.
where it's not just under the ground, but it's under the ground, under the water. That used to freak me out as a kid. I'm like, I don't understand how this works at all. Very cool. So, and how's cheesecake?
Oh, it was delicious. So far, that has been the most awesome experience in meals. How it refers was great. I had the opportunity to go with my social host to Cheesecake Factory, and I think they have the best cheesecake.
I don't know. I'm going to have you to my house. My husband makes a pretty mean cheesecake. Just saying.
But yeah, in order to reply to your question, I feel like curiosity is part of our human nature. I feel we need it in order to increase our knowledge, but also to have a real extent perspective about why things happen in the way that they work. So definitely this is something that we need to improve and constantly working on.
Yeah. How about you, Linda? What did you do? You think of yourself as a curious person?
I am really curious. So yeah, because for me, I studied language for my bachelor degree, and I feel like when you study language, you also need to learn the culture. That's why I've been wanting to study abroad, but I didn't expect this is gonna be my first country I will visit. And yeah, it was worth 20 hours flight from Indonesia to come to US.
That's a long way.
Yeah.
That's a long way. Yeah. And Mercy, how about you? Curious? Not curious.
Curious? Yeah, I think of myself as curious because I am never satisfied with the information I have. I always seek out to gain more, just like Jeff said. So the desire to want to have more knowledge, to want to have more experience, to share with people, that really triggers the curiosity that is in me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you talked a little bit about what you were curious before you came. What has piqued your curiosity since your arrival? Because surely there have been things that have surprised you, or you've had the reaction of, oh, they're nodding, look at this. So what has piqued your curiosity that you might not have known to be curious about until you got here? Any examples?
Right. The first day we arrived here, my flight arrived here around 5 p.m. and we were still in the line for the custom and all this stuff. And around 7 p.m. when we got out, I saw the sun. But I was just curious, like, what's happening? So I look at my watch again. I thought I was maybe not on the real time. So I asked my coordinator, what time is it? She said it's 7 p.m. So I was just astonished of seeing the sun at this time, because back in my country at 6 the sun is already down.
You know, I had this conversation with Zandale too.
Yeah.
Because if you're from a country that's close to the equator, then your days are pretty standard in their length.
Yeah.
But the further you get from the equator, the more different. Yes, I was explaining, well, in Alaska, there's like no sun at all this time of year. And in the middle of summer, the sun never sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, so right away you were noticing
Yeah.
what was different.
It was so different.
Very cool. Very cool. What else? What else has piqued your curiosity?
For me, it's about diversity here. So, I am Muslim here, and I was wondering if I will meet another Muslim here. And at first I was like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna be the only one who wear hijab on the bus or not. But apparently it's so diverse here. I mean, it's not just Muslim. I could meet people from other country as well in this area. So it's like a mini world that you could see. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've had an opportunity to meet with some of the students who are at other campuses around the country. Are they in similarly diverse communities? Did you get a sense of that?
Well, I think some of them, we have been privileged because this area is so diverse.
Yeah.
And we literally knowing or meeting the world here because we can find every nationality. But other students, I feel like they are in small village or places where there is like a predominance in certain group of people who live there. It's not so diverse.
Right.
So is that a source of comfort to have some folks who seem sort of a little more familiar to you amidst all of the unfamiliarity?
Yeah.
Yeah. It offers a lot of comfort because, again, you stop thinking of yourself as the odd one out. And it helps you have a small comfort zone and just know that, okay, I have somebody from my country or I have somebody who we share this in common, so this can go well with me. I don't really have to get stressed out about some things,
Nice. Well, and I would imagine, certainly for me, when I'm curious about something, a little bit of a comfort zone lets me move out of my comfort zone. If I have nothing to hold on to, I won't go there. But if I have something to hold on to,
Yeah. True.
So what other things have piqued your curiosity since you arrived?
Well, I think the personal space, I think it's worse than what I thought actually.
How so?
Yeah, because as a Latin American person, our culture is completely different. We like to be close, we like to touch, we like to give hugs, and even kiss each other in our cheek. And so once you're here, it's like I need to be aware about that. And the personal space is really important, and it's like a value of this culture. So now I feel like I'm a little bit awkward when I met a person from Latin America because I feel like okay, should I approach that person in my Latin American way or I should continue following the US culture? So it's like a little bit hard, but it's funny at the same time how being here can make you change a little bit your own culture. You need to adapt your culture to the place you are now. So definitely personal space is something interesting about the US.
Interesting. Mercy, anything that's particularly piqued your curiosity?
Quite a number, but a few are like the driving system, like in my country. The driving and the transport system is so different from the US. You can get a public transport vehicle anytime, anywhere. But in the US, it is according to a particular schedule. So that kind of drove me crazy at the first. And there are countless times I have gotten lost. And I couldn't get a good grip of my GPS. So that has gotten some curiosity out of me. And another thing, it's like the measuring system. For instance, in Kenya we have kg, centimeters,
It
meters.
makes so much more sense.
And that is not in the US. So that had to get me out of my comfort zone and learn how to just convert things the American way,
Someday maybe we'll catch up with the rest of the Not yet. So what about your family and friends back home? What have they been curious about?
About a lot. You're right. Because anytime that I'm having a conversation with my people back there, they are always the first question they will ask me like, "How are you doing? How are you doing? Like with the cold? What do you eat?" And like there is a traditional food in my country that we call atiki, but since I came here, they thought I was not eating that. They thought I was just eating hamburgers and all
Pizza.
pizza, yeah. So one day I was chatting with one of my friends. He asked me, "What are you eating?" And I told him I'm eating the traditional food indeed. And he was just astonished. He said, "What? What are you eating? Are you sure about what you're saying?" I said, "Yes, of course. I found it here." He was so amazed. And like they're always asking about the cold weather, the snow, how is the how is the American system?
And we haven't
all
had a
this.
bad winter yet. You know,
This winter has been better.
Yeah, they're very curious too.
yeah. Other things that family or friends have been curious about or asked about?
I think for me, it's the change that I'm going through right now. Being that I'm in a diverse place, again, it opens my mind to a lot of things.
Sure.
From the country where I come from, there are a lot of like taboos or restrictions on particular things, and US is quite open to a lot. So they're just curious, okay, how open are you right now? And the kind of knowledge that I have acquired or the kind of skills I now have in place, that keeps them asking, okay, how are you going about social media? I was not a computer person, so like, okay, so you can do this. How are you going about your studies? We know that the system is so different, so yeah.
Interesting.